It's time now for the Town Talker with Reverend Zechariah A. Jackson. Reverend Jackson is founding pastor of the Church of What's Happening Now, located in Plainfield, New Jersey. And now, the Town Talker, Reverend Zechariah Jackson.
Oh, it's good coming to you. This is the Reverend Zechariah Jackson from the Church of What's Happening Now, Town Talker Talk Show. I tell you, the weather seems to be clearing up. I guess we got a few more days before spring is coming, right? And we're going to, duck out the PSNG, man. Let this thing warm up a little bit. I tell you, when you look at the news and you see what's happening with the country and the president telling the AIG that they need to give the money back, and you would think that people would voluntarily do something like that, but today, you still got to put pressure. But we don't want our president to get so lost and look like a detective. I was just talking to Council President Rasheed Burney about that, and I was talking to him about it, that there must be an office that handles that.
That's what would happen if the president sets a goal.
And
then
we just don't want I mean you don't want the president to look like the detective that we're going to go after. There's got to be an office that handles it. I know, like, if when I owed the tax people, they somehow came after me.
You're the governor, of course I'm coming after you.
The governor, he shook my hand, but when I looked for that little money that they was going to send, that they sent last year, I didn't get it, but thank God I was able to pay it all up and then get it going and everything. Okay, so today we have a doctor with us. I want you to introduce yourself and talk about some of the things that you have, and also we have Council President Rasheed Burney. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, go ahead. Introduce yourself.
How are you this afternoon?
How are you doing, Doctor?
I'm doing well, and I'm glad to be here. My name is Vanessa Willison, and I'm the principal and founder of the Crosswalk Group. And the Crosswalk Group actually does consulting for profit and nonprofit and faith-based organizations.
Okay. And so we were talking earlier about some green projects or things of that nature you were talking about?
One of the things that President Barack Obama has done, as he promised, which is a good thing because most politicians promise, but sometimes they don't follow through. But he has followed through with the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act of 2009. That's what we're commonly referring to as the stimulus money. And the stimulus money is actually earmarked for green projects.
Okay, now now that we have, you're talking about the green projects, which is a good thing, and we have the Council Plainfield now.
Yes.
Rasheed Burney is the Council President. Is there somehow we can do some of these green projects in the city of Plainfield?
Well, a lot of the municipalities started last year, even earlier, with working with a sustainability plan for the municipality. And I'm not sure what they're doing in Plainfield, but last year the Council of Mayors met, and green was at the top of the agenda. And green is good for everyone because we need to be green because we all have to breathe the air.
Sure.
We all have to drink the water, and that's why we want to be a sustainable community.
Rasheed, do we have any green projects going on here in Plainfield?
We've actually just recently applied for to be part of the state program where they will come in and audit all your buildings for energy efficiency.
Okay.
And they will make recommendations to us. So that's one of the first things that we want to do. Last year I was at the New Jersey League of Municipalities and an annual conference, and they had these little cars that are all of 6 feet long or less, and they run on electric, on one charge overnight, and you just plug it into a regular outlet. And one of the things I'm advocating is we use some of these types of vehicles for our public works, for our inspections people.
Let me ask you this right here. So sometime when you do, well, now that we're really getting we're growing with this green energy or philosophy, however you would put it. Will there be any houses that would be actually sacrificed to, let's say, where as an example, where you would come in and do the whole house with solar panels, so then people would see it and things? Are we any projects like that on the hand? playing
If anything
field.
like that happens, it'll be from a state level.
Okay.
I haven't seen any. My profession, by the way, is I do energy audits for homes
Okay.
as a profession. So this is my profession at this point. And my company offers energy audits and retrofits to make homes more efficient. We've just added solar panels to our line.
Wow.
So, you know, this
Is there a special loan for that right there?
There is. There are several loans. The PSE&G has a loan right now where
Okay.
they will pay up to 60. They'll give you a loan for up to 60% of your solar panels, for example. The
And
state has
what kind of rate? You know, when you think about
8%. You know, so it's
8%.
not the best in the world, but it's okay. You know, it's 6 to 8%. If you can probably do better if you take out a home equity line of credit.
Okay.
But if you don't want to do that, this is an option available.
What kind of money are we talking about that's going to be invested? Let's say in we have a lot of bungalows here in Plainfield. You know, so a small house. What would it cost to fit one with solar panels?
The average price on that is the upfront price is $33,000,
Okay.
but then there are state rebates available. There's also credits available, pollution credits.
All right.
There's a market for that, and on average, it comes out to about $18,000 out of the homeowner's pocket, which can be done two ways. One is financed, or they can pay for it in cash. But then you also get a reduction in your electric bills. So this typically pays for itself in 6 to 7 years. You've paid off your investment.
So now these panels, we're going to get back to you, Doctor, in a second. These panels, what exactly do it run the whole house?
They're typically going to run about 60% of your electric bill. So it will reduce your electric bill from PSE&G by 60%.
Oh, that's
But
good.
every home is different. You know, the orientation of the home, the amount of trees that are covering it, the amount of electricity used. One person in a home uses far less electricity than a family of 5. So every house is different, just like every human being is different.
Sure.
So, but what I'm talking about are averages.
Okay. Doctor?
You know, I said there's such a great demand at this point for people who understand installing the solar panels and the retrofitting. And there's also grants available from the government for low-income people. So for the homeowners, they may have to take a loan, but you know, certain homeowners now find themselves in very challenging times, and there are grants available for that. So it's it would behoove individuals to really find out what's going on by looking at where the stabilization money is going in the local community.
Okay.
Additionally, one of the things that Crosswalk is doing is working with contractors to help them be in a position to bid for some of the money that's coming down, because some of these projects are designed directly to retrofit low-income housing.
Okay. And when you say low income, what are we talking about? Under $50,000?
Well, the low income is set based upon the median income of the community. So
Okay.
it would vary from community to community.
Oh, okay.
Right, but you're looking at below the average income level of the community to qualify. But
Right.
yeah, and
It's
we've applied. I think we've applied for $6 to $8 million in this community stabilization program. We sent in an application. So Plainfield's looking to participate in this, and that's another program. There's also rebates available for multifamily homes. You know, sometimes
Sure.
what happens is people who own multifamily homes don't really care that much about the efficiency because they're not paying the bills.
Exactly.
So there are programs available from the state to help offset. If they would do that, that in turn would reduce their rate increases or rent increases to the renters.
Now, what's the difference between the solar panels and the wind turbines, the windmills?
And a solar panel is actually situated on the home or the building and captures energy from the sun.
Okay.
It's solar.
Right.
And the wind turbine harnesses the wind, like the windmill.
Right, exactly.
Harnesses the wind to do the same
So they
thing.
both do basically the same thing.
They
So
do the
can you
same
have
thing.
both, or you should have just one or the other?
Well, I'm not an engineer, but I was told, I was at a forum with PSE&G, and they say in New Jersey that it's best to have solar panels. We don't have that type of wind power in New Jersey. We don't
Sure.
have a lot of wind
get it in the
moving
winter, right.
continuously.
Right.
So they're looking at solar panels in New Jersey.
Yeah, and typically wind are out in the fields where there's a lot more space, not in concentrated urban areas,
Okay, yeah.
typically.
Well, I know that if I had a small windmill in the winter, I could lift it,
You
you know,
could, yeah.
push a button and sit it up, you know.
But there are parts of upstate New York that are really windy in the winter.
Yeah, well,
and,
yeah,
and
yeah,
you
yeah,
can,
elevated.
yeah, and there are maps that the federal government has put out, And New Jersey is not a good place.
Yeah.
Offshore, like along our shoreline there is, if you've been to Atlantic City, you will see that there's several big windmills.
Yeah, you know,
And
you think that they're small, but when you look at them,
they're gigantic.
they're gigantic.
Oh, they're
Yeah,
huge.
because I seen him on the internet the other day, and this guy that was working on one. He looked like a little mouse on top of
He is
the
a
thing.
very small mouse. That each propeller is 20 25 feet in length. Each arm of that, it's huge. But I think one thing before we move away from this is solar panels is one way to go more green. Other ways is to make your home more energy efficient by adding insulation. So you cut down on the use of gas or oil. Another way is to take if you've got a very old furnace, furnaces lose their efficiency every year. So if you've got a 20-year-old furnace, I guarantee you, you're running at best about 50, maybe 40% efficiency. And if you replace that, that itself will save you more money than solar panels. So there's various ways to go green. The idea is which is the most cost-efficient way, and that's what me or other people like me would do is with an energy audit, you would find a path as to what's the most energy-efficient way to do it.
Have you had success with the program so far?
Well, the funds have just been released.
Okay.
So everybody's in the application stage, but we've been working with contractors for a while in terms of preparing them for what's coming. Yes.
Okay. We're going to go to Brenda Gilbert. I think she has something to announce. She's giving a mic. And we miss you. We hadn't seen you in a while.
I know. First of all, good afternoon to each and everybody. I have missed being here.
Yes.
I've enjoyed my time to being a co-host with you periodically. But that's not the reason why I'm here today. I'm here today because the city of Plainfield is coming up on an election for our school board. And I, along with 3 other young ladies, are having a fundraiser tonight, a meet and greet at the hospital auditorium that will start from 6 to 8. And I just stopped by to invite everybody.
Okay.
It's free. You don't have to pay anything.
Okay.
The only thing you have to do is sit and listen to us. That might be a little hard for some people, but I trust me. If you come and listen to what we have to say, I'm sure that you will realize that you have not wasted your evening. We have some pretty good people on this slate. That's myself, Brenda Gilbert, and Mahogany Hendricks, Lisa Logan Leach, who is an incumbent, and Catherine Peterson.
Okay.
And we're billing ourselves as the team for hope, healing, and change. And we'll have a little entertainment tonight,
Okay.
and a little surprise entertainment.
Wow, okay.
And so that, come on out and have a good time with us. And we got some light refreshments, and just stop by to tell your listening audience as well as yourself that you are invited.
Well, I'm definitely going to try my best to get by. I got an interview to do at 6 o'clock. If I can, after that interview, we don't get in a long conversation, I'm going to swing by.
Reverend Zach, I know you always out there.
know.
I mean, you're all over the community. You're a community-minded person, and you're usually at all the affairs. So I know that if you get an opportunity, I know that you're going to be there. And so I'm just hoping everybody else will follow your example and come on out too, because our school system, our children
Sure.
are our most important commodity, and it's important that we have the best that we have to offer, sitting on that school board, guiding and directing, okay, what happens to our children.
That's the truth, and that right there is actually the work of the church of what's happening now. Let's figure out what's happening now to the kids, and get them together, get them on the road to righteousness.
Absolutely.
Now, when is the election actually?
The election is April 21st.
Oh, well, it's close.
April 21st. There's going to be a number of forums going on around the city, being sponsored by a number of groups.
Sure.
However, but this one tonight is being sponsored by us personally, so that there's not a hidden agenda or another agenda, or sometimes no agenda at all, and that's when it gets dangerous. So this will be totally about the children, totally about us, and what we plan to put forth. If the people of Plainfield decide that we need to be on that board.
Well, I'll tell you this right here. You contact me next month so we can have you on the show.
Absolutely.
We can bring everybody on the show and everything, and we can get you guys heard by the community.
Absolutely.
So that's so important.
Absolutely.
People need to know that there's choice out there.
Absolutely.
They need to know.
Absolutely. That's why I stopped by, because I knew what I was dealing with when I came. I knew what I was working with.
This is open door church, because when I get the money to build my church, I'm gonna build a farm around it.
I know
I'm
it's true.
gonna grow food, vegetables for everybody.
I know it's the truth. I'll be right there getting my share.
Well, go ahead. There's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. Thank you for coming by.
Thank you for giving us this time, Reverend Zach. We appreciate it.
Anytime. Anytime. God bless.
God bless.
We have the church in the hood, Reverend. Introduce yourself if you can, Reverend Clark.